how would you grade the offense through the first 2 weeks, and what has the focus in practice been so far this week heading into Maryland?
The offense, we've done some really good things these past couple of weeks. We put some really good things on film. We've showed that we can make a lot of big plays, a lot of explosive plays, but we have a lot of growing areas. We have a lot of things we can work on. We have a lot of things we can fix. So that's just the plan going into Maryland. Watching the tape over the last 2 games and just focusing on things that we can build on and just be better on. And as for the game plan, it's just go 1-0. We can't look in the past right now. We just gotta look forward and look to Maryland this week and just try to go 1-0.
Hey, John, I think I'm getting called on here. It's Tyler Donahue from Lions 24/7. Good morning. I know it was a long night for a lot of us, and I'm sure a lot of players too. So we appreciate you guys joining these calls today. Keandre Lambert stepping up into that starting role in the new depth chart, the second true freshman to be starting early on here. What have you seen since he got to campus in January, even without a spring camp? What did he do early on to impress you guys?
Wait, could you repeat that?
Yeah, sure. What did you see from Keandre Lambert early on back in January in that first semester on campus without getting on the football field that showed you that he might be in a position to play early? And then what did he do on the practice field once you guys got back into football action that earned him a starting role at the end of the day?
So as soon as Dre came into camp, he was making plays. He was able to run with us, kind of the 1s and 2s. So he was playing some pretty good guys in coverage. We have some of the best corners in the nation on our team, and he was going against them every day and just making plays. So I saw as soon as he came in that he was going to have a huge factor on us this season. And then he's been he's been consistent these past couple of weeks, and whenever he gets the opportunity, he makes a play, and that's pretty much all you can ask for. And he came in, did a great job knowing the playbook. He's always attentive. He's really attentive. He's always asking questions. He's always just wanting to get better. So you can't ask for much more in such a young kid, and it's honestly just been great having him.
Joe Giuliano.
Well, good morning, Jahan. We appreciate the time today. I was impressed after the game, you talking about your grandmother, and I just wondered, what was her impact on you in your development as an athlete and as a young man?
It was huge. Both my grandparents, it was honestly tremendous by them. When I was growing up, they were the ones basically taking me to school every day. My grandparents are some of the most supportive people in the world, honestly. They have probably I would say 8, 9 grandkids, and we all play sports, and they tried to make every single game, whether I was traveling to South Jersey to where I live, Nazareth, Pennsylvania, anything. They were always trying to be there for all of us, and honestly, we couldn't have asked for better grandparents than them.
Audrey Snyder.
Hey, John, thanks for your time this morning. You've told us a lot that you think Parker Washington's going to be really, really good. At what point, I guess, did you kind of realize that? And what is he like in game situations? Because I know Pat was saying last week that Keandre was super nervous on the sideline ahead of the first game. Yeah.
So Parker kind of reminds me of me a little bit. He doesn't say much, but you can just tell that he acts like he's been there before. He's really calm about things. He really just takes on pressure situations like a vet would, honestly. And then you guys have probably seen his high school highlight film. It's ridiculous, honestly. And I just knew that he was going to be a good player. And then he's came in and just made plays. And we've just asked him to be consistent and make those plays. And he does it. He does it every day. He comes to practice. He makes plays against the ones and on defense. When we're going against each other on scout team, he just makes plays all the time. So I trusted him to make plays on game day, and that's what he's been doing.
Tyler Donnie.
Jahan, there have not been many true freshman starters at wide receiver in the Franklin era. You're one of them by the end of that year, but to see these guys do it so quickly, game 1 for Parker, game 3 for Keandre, what is that reflective of as far as getting started, particularly with no spring ball? And then additionally, what did you learn the most over your first few games as a starter in your freshman season?
So honestly, I would just give the props to recruitment. Honestly, you recruit great guys. Both those guys were great guys coming out of high school, and they recruited them pretty well enough to come here. So I give props to recruitment basically, just because we got such great guys, and they came in ready to play. And that's what you dream of. But at the end of the day, it's not something that you're like, oh, I might not play right away. But when you come in and you just make plays and consistently make plays in practice, your hard work pays off, and those guys have done that so far. And we're just ready for them to take on a bigger role.
Connor Donahue.
Hey, Jahan. Entering this weekend against Maryland, what do you see as the biggest challenge coming in facing the Maryland defense?
They have a lot of great athletes, but right now we're just focusing on taking what they give us and executing the game plan. We have our set game plan, they have theirs, and we're just gonna have to go out there and execute. That's what it's about at the end of the day. Every week it's just executing, making sure those little details are correct, and just making sure that we come out 1-0. We haven't done that yet this season, so we're looking to get on the win track and just come out 1-0.
Joe Giuliano.
Jahan, what were your conversations like with your grandmother before she passed, and what are the nature of your conversations now?
So I wasn't really able to talk to her much before she passed, just because of the whole coronavirus thing. She was in the hospital, and a lot of family couldn't just go see her like it was a normal situation. So I wasn't really able to talk to her, but I talked to her on the phone a couple times, and basically conversation is just always, I love you, how you doing, stuff like that. But ever since she's passed, she's been with me the whole time, and I've just been asking her to be by my side, just keep me healthy and all those things like that. Look over us, look over the family, and just little stuff like that, and just telling her I love her.
Audrey Snyder.
Jahan, when you kind of look at this receiving core and the development in it, we all were questioning about it all off season, and you kept saying guys are going to step up. I know they're going to step up. How validating is it for you to see that happen, that it's not just you throughout these 2 games?
It's pretty cool to see, just because I knew what those guys were capable of doing. And when you're able to execute something, when you know that someone on the next side of you can make a play at any time, any point in the game, that's just it's an amazing feeling, just because it's kind of just pressure lifted off your shoulders, that you don't have to always basically be that guy to go to. You have other guys around you that we can always go to, and that's just great for us, and it's just going to make us better as an offense.
David Eckert.
Hey, Jahan, how you doing?
I'm good. How you doing?
Doing good, thanks. Obviously, your numbers over the first 2 games kind of speak for themselves, but I'm wondering, have you learned anything about yourself, during the start of the season, or has it kind of been par for the course for you?
Yeah, I've definitely learned a lot about myself, and the biggest thing that I've learned is that I can get better. I can just keep growing every day. There's just little things that I can add to my daily routine or daily schedule that can better me as not only as a football player, but just better me as a person in life. Just those little things. You just got to pay attention to those little things you're not doing, and then just better yourself in those. And that's what I've been trying to do over these past 2 weeks, and it's been paying off.
Tyler Donahue.
Jahan, a few times you've mentioned the importance of KJ Hamler to your early development at Penn State. You both had big weekends. You had a best game of your college career so far. And the next day he catches a game-winning touchdown, his first professional touchdown. Was he in communication with you at all over the past 72 hours or vice versa? And if so, what was that conversation like? And regardless of whether you were talking, what was it like to see him have that successful moment during his first NFL season?
Yeah, so I talked to KJ on the phone. I think it was either Wednesday or Thursday night, and he was just telling me, just go out there and ball out. Just basically just leave it all on the field and just ball. That's what you know how to do. That's what you were born to do. That's why you came to Penn State. So just ball, and that's what I did. And then he did the same thing. He was speaking his words into existence. And he did the same thing, got his first career touchdown. That was just amazing to see. When you see guys that you played with, your brothers, that you battled with on the field, you see them succeed at the next level. That's all you can ask for.
Audrey Snyder.
Jahan, what was your phone like, Saturday night, Sunday morning after that game? And are your parents or family, I mean, I know some of them are at the game, but is mom able to be at games? And are you allowed to see family after games this year?
My phone was, honestly, it was insane. I tried to, I honestly tried to respond to everyone as quick as possible, just because, like, I knew that coming into the next week we had another game, and I can't be focusing on stuff like that. So I tried to respond to everyone, and hopefully I did. But my parents are allowed to come to the games. We're not really allowed to see them after. If we can, it's probably for like 5 minutes, honestly, just because of the whole coronavirus thing going on. So yeah, it's great to have my parents there. I can always hear my parents in the crowd. It's kind of like I have this little thing to hear them over anyone else in the crowd. So yeah, my parents were there. I had a bunch of family there, probably a couple aunts and uncles. So it's pretty cool to have your family.
Joe Giuliano.
Jahan, your team being 0-2 in a shortened season, I would guess that your two primary goals of a conference championship and a playoff spot might have gone away now. What keeps you guys motivated?
Just playing for each other. The guys in this locker room, we all love each other, and we don't want to let each other down. That's the biggest thing at the end of the day. We love each other so much, and we want to battle for each other. So just going out to practice every day, making each other better, and trying to win on Saturdays, just going 1-0, executing, doing what our coaches say. That's basically the biggest thing for us. We can't focus on what's down the road. We got to focus on what's right now, and that's pretty much what I've been talking about: living in the present, not the past or future. Just focusing on your daily task.
Travis Johnson.
Jahan, you mentioned some of the little things that you worked on in the off season just to get better. I'm curious if grip strength, if that's something that you work on, regularly. I would imagine like that's a key to being able to make some of those one-handed grabs.
Yeah, definitely. The rice bucket is huge for grip strength. We have a lot of little gadgets in the weight room that you can use for grip strength. That's always something you should use. It's definitely as a wide receiver. And then I like to just catch little objects. That's one thing I really focus on this all season. Catching like tennis balls and stuff like that. Because if you can catch a little object, a football, it just comes way easier to you. So,
David Eckert.
Yeah, Jahan, I wanted to kind of follow up on the question before you touched on, some of the details that you're trying to iron out to get right. Is there an example that you can kind of provide there?
Just working harder than you did the previous day. That's pretty much kind of like a moral I live by every day. Just making sure you did something else to get better, or you worked. Coach Franklin talks about 1%. What's your 1% every day? So basically making sure that Tuesday I was better than Monday, Wednesday I was better than Tuesday, and that'll get you pretty far, to be honest.
Nice, Wilborn.
Jahan, forgive me for this. I was a little late logging on. You may have answered this, but what did it mean to you to get yesterday off practice, to be able to vote and engage, and just what does it mean that James Franklin provides those opportunities for you guys?
Oh yeah, that's an amazing opportunity that we had yesterday, just to go out and vote and voice our opinion. The world depends on it. Honestly, we have the right to vote. We have the right to voice our opinion. So why wouldn't you? Honestly, you live in this world. You might as well basically have an effect on what this world is like. So that was an amazing opportunity that we had yesterday, and I just hope everyone took advantage of it.
Tyler Donahue.
Jahan, you've spent time in the slot. It's a difficult position to cover. I'm curious, what does it take for a defender to consistently cover a slot receiver throughout the course of a game? And what does Daquan Hardy bring to that role when you've gone up against him in practice, the redshirt freshman?
The slot is very hard to cover just because there's just so much space on either side of you, right or left, and it feels like you're always chasing. So I honestly give props to Daquan just because he's done a great job at the slot position, coming up and starting basically in our nickel package. So he's been great in practice, and I've seen him make plays. So I just can't wait for him to explode in the game.